Good morning. It's Tuesday, March 16th, and here's an update on the general situation surrounding the pandemic. This is not about vaccinations. This is about the people's attitude toward others in the community who have not yet been vaccinated. It's not a complaint. It's just the general opinion of many, and I can see why it would be important. So I'll take a little bit of time to explain to you all what's going on a pandemic that is moving slowly along, and the vaccinations are moving along more quickly than I ever thought they could. And so I have no reason to believe that we won't have most of the people in this country vaccinated by the end of the summer, which would be a good thing because right now I feel that they're doing a good job with my community, which is those of us who are elderly. So let me tell you about this poll that was taken by Reuters and another innocuous organization called PSOS. The poll indicates that many Americans want to get the coronavirus vaccine, and the majority of them also support workplace and lifestyle and travel restrictions for those who have not yet been inoculated against COVID-19. In the national poll of 1,005 people, which was conducted last Monday and Tuesday, the results indicated that more people want to be inoculated. Now, there were people who were reticent or reluctant to get vaccinated, but that seems to be declining. So while the percentage of Americans who don't want to get vaccinated hasn't changed much, it's around 25% of the population, of the eligible population, I guess you would call it. But there are social challenges that have emerged, as many in the United States begin to believe that those who have not been inoculated should have their lives limited to the way they can mix in public. Now, I don't know what that means exactly. If somebody's wearing a mask in public and they are behaving according to the protocols that have already been set up, what more could you ask of an unvaccinated person? Do you want them covered up in hazmat material? I don't know. Are we supposed to mark them in some way, shape, or form? We put a little red sticker on them? Something like the gold star that the Germans used on the Jews during the Holocaust? How are you going to tell who's uninoculated? So if that's a growing feeling in the United States, I don't like it. Now, I don't like the fact that people are not willing to get vaccinated either. But as long as they behave according to the rules that are established, wear a mask in public, wash your hands for 20 seconds, etc. What can we do about it? What can you do about those who are not inoculated? I mean, if you're a personal friend or something, and you know they're inoculated, well, you can just say, until you get your vaccination, you are persona non grata as far as our family is concerned. But what are we supposed to do with people we don't know? I don't know how anybody could imagine what they want to do with these people. Now, those of us who have been inoculated twice, or once at least, have that little white card that everybody's supposed to carry around with them. It's like a Social Security card or some other card you carry in your wallet. So we have that identification, so we can prove that we have been inoculated. But are we going to show that to everybody and as we walk around the streets? No. So what can happen, and what these people are proposing, at least the 62% that believe everybody who's not vaccinated should be limited in their activities, they're saying they shouldn't be allowed to travel on airplanes or trains, which is fine. because at least if you register or buying a ticket, you can show your vaccination card, so you're okay. And then they don't want these people working out in public gyms or entering the movie theaters or attending concerts or any of those things. So we're going to have the people who sell tickets to those events or memberships in the gym. Are you going to be required to show them your little vaccination card? I don't know. I think that's stretching it a little bit. I think if the people are willing to wear the mask and social distance, then that ought to be enough. But then we have people who are very, very nervous and scared shitless about this disease, and I don't blame them about that. So I think it's a dicey situation, and I don't know exactly how you would control the uninoculated, the unvaccinated population in America. The only way I can see doing it is that for events like a movie or something, then you have to show your card to get in. But for everyday life, when you're wandering the streets or going to a public place like a park or something, you got to wear your mask. And nobody's stopping you from walking in the park, And if you're a nervous person, then stay 15 feet away from everybody. I think this is a difficult situation for us all. And we have to be compassionate in some way, shape, or form to our fellow humans. And have to recognize that they have rights also. Although I don't think that anybody has the right to not get inoculated. If they have a disease or inoculation is a life-threatening event, that's okay. But otherwise, everybody should be vaccinated. When your turn comes, you should get vaccinated. The other thing that they wanted in terms of the unvaccinated is that you have to get vaccinated before you return to the office. I think that's a reasonable request. But as usual, these things have many different angles to look at. And I don't know that companies are really willing to enforce a vaccination mandate on their employees. But maybe they ought to. But the way the workplace is running now and the way I think it's going to run in the future, many people are not going to get to the office too often. So if you're looking at this, then you may be a person who has a job and you may only be required to show up in the office one day a week. I had a job like that once. And it wasn't because of a pandemic. It was because I was a tax auditor and I had to be out in the field auditing. So all in all, I think if you're unvaccinated, you ought to behave yourself, wear your mask and wash your hands and everything. For those of you who are vaccinated, thank your lucky stars that you got it done. And for those people who are determined not to get vaccinated, I hope they all change their mind. So that's it for now, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.